Oh, yo, 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 yo. Oh, yo. Came up from the struggle, now we stacking chips. Black Wall Street, we rebuilding from the pits. Politics and business, we beyond rich. Donnie Glover Show, watch us shift the switch. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the real ones come. Every episode, dropping knowledge, dropping bombs. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Talking black excellence, ain't no exclusivity. History is making, reclaiming our divinity. Brick by brick, rebuilding our community. Donnie Glover Show, celebrate unity. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the real ones come. Every episode, dropping knowledge, dropping bombs. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. From the boardroom to the streets, we making waves. Business minds running, new paths paved. Politicians listen, they know we the brave. Black Wall Street dreams rising from the grave. Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com. Spotlight on the hustle where the
we have some stars in the building.
Donnie Glover Show by BMOnews.com.
We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Special thank you to our executive producer of Be More News in Niagara, Mr. Emmanuel Price. We're up here on, this is the New York side, and that's the Canadian side, and we will be there for the New Year's dropping of the ball or somewhere around here. Very beautiful Niagara Falls, some of the best water in the world. So make sure you get out, get your passport, and do some traveling. And keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Welcome to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Here on Atlantic, Mississippi, with our very dear friend Corey Mathis. A beautiful town, New Orleans. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com. We're going to give you an update. 10 years since Katrina. The news before the news, where we uncover the truth.
Wall Street, we rebuilding from the pits. Politics and business, we beyond rich.
Mr. Gardner, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you today, sir?
Good, good. We got Jihad Gardner on the line. Jihad, Sean, welcome to the show. How are you today, Sean?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good. We're broadcasting to you live straight out of West Baltimore, man. Where are you?
I'm in Hagerstown, Maryland right now, Roxbury Correctional Institution.
Sean, we've been hearing a lot of great things about the work you're doing in terms of mentoring. Tell me about it.
Well, I started behind the wall mentors back in like 2008. It all started with like a good group of stand-up guys who really just wanted to make change. You know, use the cause of our conditions, so we wanted to make a way where we can change and stop the cycle of youth coming to prison, and really just trying to get back to our community. So we formed it with like 7 or 8 other men, good men, and first we just started out writing letters to other people, like other incarcerated men, you know, you really can't talk to. Like, I got little cousins or whatever, I couldn't really get to them, because they like, man, well, you locked up? How you can tell me what to do? So we really were just going from each family member. Like, I talked to somebody else's family member, they talked to my family members, and we started off like that. And then it progressed, and we was able to contact like other organizations, and we were able to talk to at-risk youth, and then like going down the wrong road and things of that nature. So now today we really holding community outreach events, like giving away school supplies, teacher appreciation, feeding the homeless, and stuff like that. So
Sean, here in the city of Baltimore, we got young men whose I live down here on Carlton Avenue. We got young men that want to stand on the corner of Pennsylvania and Lawrence all day, every day. What is your message to them? And young women.
My message to them, man, it's a million other things you could be doing, man. Just because you grew up, you see that every day, don't mean you have to adapt to the vibe that you in. And it's a million things. Like, ain't nobody really teaching the blind leading the blind right now out there. So it's not really, they're not really getting the proper guidance they need. So they don't know they can go into this program, they can do this, they can do that. And then a lot of them is caught up in the easy way. You feel me? Like, the best thing in life is to go the hard route sometimes so you can be proud of yourself. Standing on the corner doing nothing, like you doing the same thing. It's like man, it's like you really locked up for real because you ain't doing nothing. You're not growing. You're just coming out and doing the same thing. You're not making no change. The next thing you know, 10 years later, you're still on the same corner doing the same thing. There's a lot of other things, 10 other million things you can be doing if you're standing on the corner. Knowing your life away for real, just waiting to come to jail.
You know, last week on the show, Sean, a lot of love came your way. Cats were saluting you for touching their lives. Jihad, what was the Muslim brother's name? You're mute. Jihad, you're muted. You gotta hit the microphone. He driving at the same time.
I know.
Give me 1 second.
That was my brother Jamal. He like the last couple of years, we really were just all the way like behind the wall mentors. But once the guys they went home, that's when we incorporated beyond the wall mentors. So the two fractions. So we have like 7 guys that was incarcerated, but now they beyond the wall mentors. So it makes it a lot easier on like my family members, like wife, cousins, and all of them that was putting together the event. So now guys that came home, they're there to help with the events now. We had one-on-one, actually had one-on-one with different youth.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been doing this mentoring program?
Since 2008.
And we understand you're getting an award, a presidential award for this.
Right, yeah. From all the hours we have been putting in, like all the mentors, all the hours putting in contact different organizations and talking to the youth. Yeah, I'm looking to receive an award. Like last week, brother Marco Roman, it went well. A lot of people showed up. I want to shout out Lady J putting it all together. Lady J Media. But I also wanted to introduce you to another, because I want to introduce you to another behind the wall mentor, brother, he's a BTW mentor, spiritual advisor, Dr. Josh A. Walls. I really want to get his point on a few things.
Okay.
I'm turn it over to him.
Okay.
Real quick.
Thank you. Dr. Walls, welcome to the show.
He's also an author.
Okay.
Hold on real quick. Good morning.
Good morning, big brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm grateful, sir. Good Lord woke me up. They say I woke up, I'm winning.
I'm working with you on the same thing, man. I appreciate that. Good that y'all doing powerful things up there, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be on this podcast.
Yes, sir. What's the shout of hope, man? What's the message to our young people? How can we save a life today?
I think to save a life today is to be relevant to the kids, knowing that, it's all about punishing the kids, but showing them love, showing them compassion, because they get that, not judging them, having a no judgment zone, sitting down, listening to them, letting them put their issues on the table, and trying to help them deal accordingly. My thing is, I love mentoring, but I also love reverse mentoring. meaning that I can let them know what needs to be done, but also give them the forum, give them the platform to be able to tell me how can I help them. See, a lot of people just dictating to the kids what they think they should do, but they're not letting the kids have an opportunity to let them know how and what they need. A lot of people, the kids are looking for love. They're looking for somebody to talk to. They're looking for a role model. They're looking for a mentor. They're looking for a father figure. And they're not getting that. They're getting that off TV, off YouTube, off rappers and stuff like that. And that's not fitting the bill. And so what we're doing is when they're not getting fitting the bill, they're getting thrown into society, basically thrown into prison, the prison system. The prison pipeline system up there is deep. And it goes beyond what a lot of people think. And it starts at the house, but what's happening is they're not getting it at the home, so they're getting it in the street. So my job as a BTW mentor on this further is live, just to let them know that you love, you got potential inside of you, you got deep gems inside of you, trying to pull the best out of what they have inside of them, let them know that they are valued, that they are loved, they're concerned about. So that's my job.
Okay, so I can put it up on the screen, right? Is Dr. Walls like WALLS?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I wanted to ask you this, Dr. Walls. We live in a day and time when Donald Trump is just over the past week, they rounded up some people from El Salvador and put them on a plane. What is the sentiment inside when you hear that this kind of activity is going on, that they're not playing with us?
My thing with that is, he has people don't understand what his business is. I believe that they have to have this way. He has to, by any means necessary, he's going to do things his way. It's terrible that you're breaking up homes and you're breaking up families. I understand the point where they're saying some are doing some things contrary, but he just has a mindset of if it's not his way, it's the highway. And in here, you deal with a few, you got a few immigrant guys in here, they're actually scared for their life. They don't know, whether when they go for parole, whether they're going to get deported or whatever the case may be. But my thing is you got to focus on what you can change. Certain things that you can't change, but the things that you can change, you need to start working on those things now. Right now, this, the state, the world right now is in a vulnerable place, losing jobs and so forth. So I'm telling guys that you have to reinvent yourself, because what's going on now, a lot of change, people losing their lives and everything. So you got to reinvent yourself.
Okay, I'm going to bring in Renny Bass.
Good morning, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good. We got another call on the line. Renny, you said the second call would be coming, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the second. How you doing? Welcome to the show on the phone.
How you doing this morning?
Good. What's your name? No, not Dr. Walls. 3061. 3061. I don't know. Well, we got a lot. Renny, my phone like Grand Central Station. Hello, how you doing? Okay. All right, Renny, bring us up to speed. They all dropped. About 3 calls, Renny.
Oh man, is Sean still on the phone?
No, that got disconnected. Jihad, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you today? Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, Donnie, I think I was listening in. I had some technical difficulties getting on this morning, but I was listening in, and I think Goo was absolutely right. We have to understand the times we in and the agenda. Understanding that prison reform is a part of prison systems, which is a part of major business in America. So it really don't come down to crime and punishment. It comes down to dollars and cents. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. They think that when people get big numbers in prison and they serving time in prison, they thinking that they dangerous to society. And, it's not about that. It's really about, because you can be reformed, over a period of time for whatever crime you did. Look at other countries and how they do. But this is big business in America. So we have to
Yes,
look at
sir.
it from that perspective and understand that the criminal justice system is probably one of the biggest
Got Renny on the
institutions
phone
of
right
finance in America.
Okay, Sean, there's Renny Bass. Renny, there's Sean.
Assalamu alaikum, Sean. Can you hear me?
Sean?
Now, John, this is Dr.
Oh, this is Dr. Walls. We got Dr. Walls on the line.
Well, let's see what Dr. Walls have to say. I'm interested to see what the doctor have to say.
Tell us more, Dr. Walls. We're good. So one of the questions I posed to Dr. Walls was, what were his thoughts, given that we got a president that's off the hook? They rounded up people from El Salvador, putting them on the planes, no due process. And Dr. Walls was saying how we got to understand what time it is. Long story short, they're not playing with us. Now, while you were gone, Dr. Walls, Renny talked about the business aspect. Let's just put it out there. America represents 5% of the world's population, yet we have 25% of the people incarcerated on planet Earth. 1 in 4 people behind walls are here in the United States.
Does that mean the rest of the...
Almost 40% of them are black men, and black women are the fastest growing demographic. What do you make of that, Dr. Walls?
It's a shame, and I realize that, the numbers seem to be going up, especially here in Maryland. You see that same trajectory in Maryland. That's what we're trying to deal with, this prison reform. While we have a black governor that's in play now to find out if we can do some things to try to turn this thing around, but it initially starts at home. And I know a lot of homes, they live in basically it's a single family, a lot of the fathers, a lot of men are either in prison or dead, so the streets are raising our kids. And so that's why you have the population is what it is now. There's no vision, there's no direction, there's nobody to, help lead and guide them. So that's what, you're going to have those numbers continue to rise. That's why we're trying to do positive things in here, to train up men in here and train up men on the outside to be able to stand in the gap and be that father figure, to be that uncle, that big brother, that mentor for the young men uptown and for the young women uptown, especially our black youth, man. It's down at an alarming rate. You're seeing them now 14 through 18, which is the highest number of youth committing crimes, getting, football type sentences, 60, 70, 80 years for doing the crimes, they shouldn't be doing. But therefore, they only doing what they see. They are a product of their environment. So we're trying to get out there, man. We're trying to change, the way the perception of our young kids are being perceived today. That we're good for nothing, that, we're not going to amount to anything. So our job and my job is to show them the best example of a man that I can show them. That's my job. Not to judge them, not to condemn them, but show them the best man that I can be. And that's, I think, that everybody, all black men, that's our job right now, is to be an example for these young black kids to see.
Dr. Walls, last night, I'm walking my dog, and I'm hearing these young girls on the corner on Carey Street. There's about 5 or 6 of them. They knew every word to this song. And I'm not sure what the song was, but they kept talking about what a bad bee is, a bad bee this, a bad bee that. They knew every word. They were singing in unison. I'm saying to myself, what happened to our music, man? What impact does media and music have on our young people?
Music has a dramatic effect on our youth. Even myself, growing up, there was certain music that basically ministered to what I was trying to do. If I was ever in this lifestyle, I was listening to a certain artist, and that certain artist motivated me. One thing about music plays with your mental, plays with your mindset. So you can get into a trance listening to certain music, and certain music can take you down a dark path. It can give you wrong direction. So it's these rappers, they know basically the whole bottom line is about money. And the kids, supporting the rappers, paying the money. But the thing about it is the rappers are supporting them, but they're supporting them in the wrong thing. The music is driving them into the wrong direction. And for you to identify yourself as a female, as a being, which is totally out of order. They have actually lost the connotation of that word. Back in the day, when you said that word that gets you hurt, but today it's endeared. You know what I mean? It's a word of endearment. And so you hear it and just accept it because nobody's challenging or warning the terminology of that word. So I believe if you start checking these young women and checking these men on, you know what I mean, the connotation of that word, you know what I mean, they will understand that that's a derogatory term that was used back in the day, that they have made it just so widely accepted today. Sometimes you need people on a bigger platform and a bigger stage to be able to let them know that that's right and that's wrong. But you don't have that today. Everything that's right is wrong, and everything that's wrong is right. So everything is reversed. It's just like style. The same thing that was in style last year was the same thing that was in style 30 years ago, and the kids think it's something new. But actually, it's something old, just playing itself out.
Dr. Walsh, tell me about the trauma that we're dealing with as a community.
Say that one more time.
Trauma. Tell me about the trauma, the unhealed trauma in our community, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse, abandonment. I'm sure you see a lot of people that come there with issues.
I believe the number one thing is because I can identify with this. I'm not going to speak on nothing that I can't identify with. And I believe in dealing with men in here, the number one thing is abandonment. That trauma, it runs deep, especially in the black communities, because you know, I mean, when you're abandoned, you have a sense of, you know, you don't belong to anybody. So you're always fending for yourself. You know, thinking, you know, you are the only one. And there's a lot of guys and the young men and young women that think that they are the only one, that nobody cares about them, so they're going to do it their way. So that's why they singing the songs and doing it, because nobody's checking them. But the thing about it is, nobody's checking them because they've never been checked. So they think it's acceptable. You know what I mean? So the trauma that I've seen here is abandonment issues. And when you have abandonment issues, especially in prison, you have a lot of men just preyed upon, you know what I mean, saying that they're weak because they don't have nobody around them. Therefore, you got a lot of young men that tend to, you know what I mean, go with the gangs and do different activities to be accepted. So when you're abandoned, you know, you have a sense of, you know, when you're left alone, you're out there on the field by yourself, and so, you know, you got the men in the head, and, I mean, a little bit stronger than you, so you tend to link up with them and start doing things that's contrary to who you actually are. Because when you're abandoned, you actually lose a sense of identity. When you don't have no identity of who you are, you begin to do things contrary to who you are supposed to.
Renny, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I want to go back to the music, man, real quick and speak on that, because I think it's bigger than the lyrics. Understanding that the people, where the source of the music come from, the artists are only limited to what they can be able to play on the air. Because if you come out with something positive, talking about reinforcing your community, doing positive things for the community, that's not going to get no airtime. And we have to understand, as a community, we have to produce a platform for them to be able to have that conversation and have that music on. You know, we have to, we looking at the artists and saying what the artists ain't doing, but the people, the powers that be, are not going to have the positive music on, because they understand it's part of the whole system of destruction. So we have to interject and find a way for the people who have a positive message to be able to display that message on a platform that's going to get played. The business of America is to suppress the black people. That's the business of America. So if we're looking for the artists to be the ones that change this, they are the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to the music itself. You have some currents out there. You have some Jay-Z's and some Kendrick Lamar. They currents. But when you look at somebody like Puffy, you know, the black community jumped on and tore him down. If you do your research and realize Puffy was trying to start a black political party, and that they wasn't having it. He had the power, he had the influence, and he had the money. They wasn't having it. So they turned him into a freak and put a baby oil as the focus. And we focus on the baby oil. We focus on the parties, not what he was trying to do, because that's what we do as a community, man. We just jump over. The media will tell us what to think and how to think, and who to love and who not to love. And we have to change that. And that's why your platform, Donnie, is so important. It's so important that we support platforms that's going to let our stories be told the way we want to tell them. Because you
Renny,
get the story told.
Renny, why do you care?
Because I'm from the black community. I am black. I'm from the black community. I grew up in the streets. You know, people look at his success story, oh, he made it out. I didn't make it out. I'm still in the community. Donnie, you know where I live. You know how I live. I can live anywhere I want to. I choose to live in Baltimore City. That's a choice for me. Because I choose to have the young brothers and sisters see me as a successful black man, living righteous, doing the right thing. So that's a choice. A lot of us get the bread and we run. We run from our community. If these brothers and sisters who are successful in their lives move back to the city, you know, it would change. I mean, it wouldn't change everything, but that would be the start. But we don't. We run to the community, and when we run to the community where we make our money in the community, we take it and spend it in the community to help support other people. And until we get that mindset to understand that we all connected, and when you hear people in the counties and the suburbs talking about what they doing, they disconnected. They disconnected, and we have to reconnect them people to their roots.
Let's check in with Jihad. Jihad, what you doing out there, big bro? Let's cut your mic on.
Man, I'm listening to y'all, man. I feel what y'all saying. I'm in Home Depot trying to make a difference from this part of the world.
What you think of the conversation thus far?
The conversation so far has been wonderful because it allowed the brothers that's in there, not only my brother, but Dr. Walls, to express their opinion and concerns from their point of view. I like that it showed let me see the appropriate word. It showed empowerment. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're in the predicament that they're in, it's still allowing them, you know, to utilize their strength in the way that they're doing. So I can't do nothing but be proud of the brothers as well as my brother. You know, that's why I'm on board.
Why do
Like
you
all
care,
front.
Jihad?
Why do I care? I
Yes,
care
sir.
for one because I was in that predicament, and came home to good brothers like Renny and a good supporting cast. So that play a big part in, you know, we can make mistakes, but you know, learning from the mistakes. Because if you don't learn from it, you're gonna continue going in the same circle. So upon me coming home, that's a big part of me, because I'm seeing it has gotten worse. I've been home 20 something, almost 20 years. And since I've been home, it's worse than when I went to prison. As far as the youth and the kids, the connection between youth and elderly, the respect level, like it's a multitude of things that's deteriorating instead of getting better. You know, so with that in mind, if we don't get brothers, sisters that's really dedicated to making a change, we're going to continue to keep having these conversations based on what can we do, what should we do, who should we do it with, you know? So like I say, I'm on the ground running hands and toes with it because I like the progression that they doing as well as the message that they spread.
Okay. I'm trying to add Didi. Didi, you want to make a comment? Maybe not. Dr. Walls, let me ask you this. We got 70% of our families are single mothers. 70% of our families are single mothers. Any advice for a young man looking to date a woman these days who already has children?
That's the hard man. You know, the fabric of our community, and that's a tough one there. That's a tough one there. I would tell them, you know, either you're trying to find an example to see of what you want in the wife, you know what I mean? And looking at the things of trying to see the characteristics and the traits of your mom, and you trying to go out in society. The best thing would do is trying to find that woman that, you know what I mean, that imitates her, this respectful, this loyal, and it shows love. And, you know, a lot of guys are just, you know what I mean, run into the, you know what I mean, just the aesthetics, the things that's on the outside. But I really believe that you get to know a person and know their likes and their dislikes instead of just, you know, laying down with a woman to have a baby. It'll be really, really beneficial to them. You know what I mean? So it's just wait, take your time, and find out what you want. Don't compromise who you are as a man looking for a woman. Don't settle for what you want. You know what I mean? Don't settle for nothing less. You know what I mean? If you have to wait, you know what I mean? Be patient. I mean, I've been waiting for 27 years. You know what I mean? And I'm not rushing home to rush into anything. You know what I mean? I want to wait and find out what I can offer her and what she can offer me. So that's the balance. You know what I mean? Instead of just running out and just laying down with somebody and having a child. You know what I mean? So I believe that, you know what I mean, it's a lot of good women out there. Trust and believe, I know it's a lot of good women out there. You have to be disciplined enough to be able to, you know what I mean, to court somebody, you know what I mean, something is missing, you know what I mean, courting somebody and find out if this is going to work with you, so that when you do, you know what I mean, have a child with this particular woman, that you will be able to raise that child, you know what I mean, in a two-parent home to be the man or the woman that you want that child to be. You know what I mean? So we live in a...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Where anything goes. You know what I mean? So we just got to, you know what I mean, be patient and wait for who we want.
Anything you want to share in the time we have? Anything we didn't cover, Dr. Walls?
Say that one more time.
I heard the alarm go off. Anything you want to share before we before it disconnects?
I'm just encouraging and thank you for having me on the platform, man.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
We're going to continue to, you know what I mean, lift up our youth in any capacity and whatever platform that you're on, man. I'm going to make sure that I push it so everybody can get these messages out, man, so we can change the trajectory of our youth. And I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Renny, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to answer that question. I would tell a young man it's honorable to sow into a young seed. And even if it's not your seed, it's honorable to sow into a seed, you know, and the blessings that will come from that. You know, it's like planting seeds. You plant this seed now, you do the work, you will get the blessings for that on the back end when you see that child grow and blossom into a productive person of society. That's your work. That's your work you can claim. You know what I'm saying? That's something you can be proud of.
Yes, sir. We got Sean Gardner back.
All right. Go. Yeah.
Brother Sean.
Yeah. I might have to excuse me because I'm on a tablet, so I might be a little distorted or delayed calls.
You fine. I got Renny Bass here.
Salam alaikum, go. Yeah, I was speaking, Goo. Don had asked me, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Don had said, what would you tell a young man who was dating a young woman with a child? And my thoughts were, it's honorable to sow into that young seed, and the blessings will come back 10 times, 100 times over when you see that young person grow into a productive productive member of society. And that relationship is a beautiful thing. I've been in that situation. I understand it, and it's a beautiful thing. And if I met a woman today with kids, I would also go back and redo it again. Because as a man, we don't get no days off. As being a great man in your community, you get no days off. You at work 24 hours, 7 days a week.
24/7, no days off. I absolutely agree with that. Just to see somebody like mentees that we had that's to go to college, graduate college, and just being able to talk to them like that. While I'm going through what I'm going through, I was still able to give somebody like some real words of reasoning and realness. And be like, man, yeah, I ain't trying to go to prison, man. Like prison, you know, once back in the day, you go to jail, come home, everybody throw a party for you. It's a celebration. But now, like once you went through what you went through, you don't even want no party. You just want a chance to to give back. Like that's what we doing. Like the Beyond the Wall mentors, they just want a chance to give back. To uplift the things that they tore down that got them in prison. That's how they want to celebrate. They celebrate and give back to the community. So that's what it's all about.
Sean, are you a victim or a victor?
I'm a victim. I use my circumstances to uplift myself. And I was around, so I'm not a victim. I mean, I can blame. I grew up like this. I saw this. My brothers. I came after my brothers, my uncles. I can say all that, but that's not what it is. I was given a chance to be able to change my life and be able to help people along the way.
Wow. Renny?
Well, I would say that sometimes we could be both. I was a victim of my community. I was used
Right.
when I was younger because I was aggressive, I was bold, and I was ready. I was ready for whatever was in front of me. And the people around me, I was also a hell of an athlete. But the people around me, instead of them shooting like I would do, you can't be on this block. You gotta get off this block, go to school, do whatever, and aid them in doing that. And there's many stories of proven record of people I've done that with. But the people who was in front of me, who I was in front of, they didn't had a vision. It got
Renny went off the screen. He said he was both, Sean. That a lot of times, let me bring Jihad in. Jihad, you want to chime in? Renny screen went black on me.
Right. I mean, I can see, like I said, I seen it all. You feel me? Like I seen it, and I thought that was the way. Like I watched my brothers, I watched them get money, and I'm like, man, I ain't really see nobody go to school, get a job. I've been seeing everybody outside doing them. So I'm like, I'm being nosy. I'm watching everything. I'm observing everything. So, like, when I was younger, my brothers, they used to do everything for me. So they wound up getting incarcerated. So next up, it was me because I ain't had that all tennis shoes that I wanted. So me watching them over them years at a young age, and once they was gone, and my mother, she working, she got to take care of the bills. I couldn't get everything that my brothers was giving me, so that's what forced me into the street life.
Big brother, I thank you for taking the time to share some wisdom. One of the hardest things is watching young people. I try to offer those that want a job. I try to offer them those opportunities, but you can see the pain on their faces, Sean. You can see the trauma that they're dealing with. You can almost see the hopelessness. And here's the weird thing, Sean. You got police sometimes 50 feet from these cats slinging. Sometimes the police is parked in the curb and the cat's standing right on the corner. They no more than 50 feet apart. The police know they slinging weed. They know the police know the dispensary about a half a mile away. Make it make sense, Renny.
Or the jails are crowded. The jails are crowded. They don't have the space. They don't have the money. So they monitor the drug activity until they're ready to disrupt it. You'd be surprised how many of them police get a little something on the side for what they're doing. I beg the question to a politician. They say to me, man, when you see people in the community doing wrong, you got to step up. You got to step in. You got to say something. You got to do something. I said, what if it's the police? What if it's the police that's doing wrong in our community? What's the resource for that? Where's the plan for that? What do you have in place for the citizens to say this police is dirty and he shouldn't be in our community? It's easy to talk about the crime and the criminal, but we also are also surrounded by, the police that's not doing the right thing. So it's a mess, man. What we're dealing with is a mess. And I said it today on social media. We need to turn to God, man, and ask him to restore the humility that we had in each other as a people. Because we see each other as opportunity and not as allies. And once we start seeing each other as allies, the community build together. But we see each other as opportunity. He got something better than me, I'm going to take it. And that's the mindset we got to change, man. And absolutely. No generation is responsible for herself, Donnie, and never has been in the past. Now, all of a sudden, we talk about what this generation is doing. When had there ever been a case in history where the generation was responsible for itself? If this generation is failing, we failed it.
Including the politicians.
And, especially the politicians.
Going back to 1973 when they brought the Maryland State Lottery in, the #1 promise was money for education. Sean, we got schools like Poly and City that don't have air, that don't have heat.
Right.
We got the stadiums renovated, but
Casinos.
and casinos.
Remember the casinos?
Promise
The
money for
casinos, they
education.
chose the school. Right. I'm wondering what happened to the money from the casinos.
Well, I would say this, man. You know, we got hoodwinked to get here. And since we've been here, we've been getting hoodwinked. You know, as a community, man, we have to stand alone and stand together. We're trying to integrate into a system that don't want us. We have to understand that, and we have to build unilaterally together. And that's our challenge. When we get that right, it changes everything. And it's not the young people on the street that's happening right now, what we see happening, it's not their responsibility. The change is not on the young people on the street that's enduring our failure. It's not their responsibility. It's all of our responsibility.
Our responsibility to show them another way. It's our responsibility to show them another way. It might be a little long, it might be a little hard, but it's still another way. It's for longevity.
Sean, I can tell you that Renny is very proud of you, bro. Renny is very proud of you, Sean. Renny is very proud of you.
We all are proud of him.
Renny, man, me and Renny, man, I used to call Renny, like I was in Newell branch of Cumberland, man. It was only coming out an hour a day. I called Renny 8 o'clock in the morning. He kept my sanity up there, man, because on the mountain, it was a whole nother animal up there. So, and he always gave me an opportunity. He's like, man, whatever you want to do. He gave me opportunities to hold events, book events, give away free books to the youth. He was always there.
One of the things
he was always there with the events.
One of the things I share on the show, Sean, is that we have to make sure our brothers and sisters have a support system. I even had to learn that when I was out there chasing all of the dope, the coke, and the rock. I had to give me a support system. My support system was flawed. I had to get rid of them get high people and get around some get clean people. I had to cut some people off. Because they meant me no good. As long as you got money, everything good. That money get funny, they don't know you no more.
They will get true friends.
Yes. Yes.
So you gotta know, like, they come in now, they ain't got no TV, they ain't got nothing. They state babies. They get state pay. They can't call home for support. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, you don't got support on the streets. You don't want to come to jail. You come to jail, you really in the water. So just do the right thing, man. Get a job, take a trading. Get with some kind of organization that's going to push you in the right direction. And it's like our brother Renny was saying, like, unity is what it's going to take. Like, we can have 1,000 youth mentoring programs. If we all come together, that's the only way it's going to work. Everybody pulling each other away. We still got the same. Everybody can still be their own boss. It could be a million bosses in the world, but we all got the same agenda.
Hey, Jihad.
Everybody on the same level.
Jihad is driving. He at Home Depot. He on the screen. He off the screen. But I'm sure he's sending. There you go. Come on. Your mic is muted, Jihad.
I'm muted. Can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Boy, I'm trying, man. I'm here.
What you think, Jihad?
You working, so you feel?
Yes.
You working. You showing them. If anything, when you watching, you working. You doing two things at once, man.
Absolutely. That's how. See, I like just like my brother said, from watching me, you know, that's why I was so eager about hurry up getting back out here, so I can like change the perception of myself as well as my brother. I didn't make it out here for my brother, but I've been holding steadfast with my son, you know, trying to bridge that gap or cut the biblical cord of the prison system. Like my son, he speaks to his uncle daily. He speaks to Renny. You know, my son is about to graduate this year. As well, he was accepted into the Citadel College. You know, he in the ROTC, he on the wrestling team, he on the baseball team, he on the swim team. You know, and after all of that, he still come home and be like, Dad, let me talk to Uncle Goo. Or let me write this. He's doing so much. And then from seeing his uncle in the predicament that he in, that motivated him even more. Like, just to let him see, like, regardless of what, when, where, and how, we ain't let nothing hold us back or put restriction on us, you know? So, like I said, I'm so proud because, like I said, it's affecting and it's rubbing off, and more people starting to gravitate to my brother message, or to a message that we trying to instill in our community. Because if we don't help our community, who is?
Last night we had an awards, and this lady named Alfreda Robinson, she came on and she talked about how we all know somebody who's in that predicament, who's someone who's been either incarcerated or they know somebody incarcerated. And she said, don't act like y'all don't know. We're over in East Baltimore. She said, don't act like y'all don't know. You know, Sean, sometimes we play like we don't remember. We like we never made a mistake. The words say everybody sin. All fall short of the glory. We say about that, Renny Bass, we have all fallen short in some way.
As I said before, I'm a returning citizen, man. So, I don't claim to be this perfect person. I don't claim to be nothing fake. I live in the real world. I made my mistakes. I took my lumps. I took my bumps, and, I think that as a people, like I said before, man, we got to get back to the point where we have humility in each other. We chasing the bag right past each other, right off the cliff, man. We got to be, the money can't be the most important thing. We have to look at each other and see the humility in each other, man, and see the love from each other. And I'm just inspired by Sean Gardner, man. I talked to that brother, man. He pumps me up. Over the 20-something years we've been talking on the telephone, he had never once whined and complained to me, ever. I've never heard this brother say nothing negative. It's always something positive. And I'm telling you, man, for me being a returning citizen, that's not an easy thing to do, man.
Sean, you got people out here with a lot of things, material things, and complain every day.
Right.
We
What they say, they like, man, some people. On your worst day, you live like somebody on their grave. So you can be messed up. You can be saying, "Oh man, my gas and electric high." And some people don't even have gas and electric.
Yes.
So all you gotta worry about is like, man, I'm gonna get this bill down. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Like, it's not about the problem half the time. It's about the solution. So if we focus on the solution, on how we gonna change, that's the key. We're wasting our time. We already know the problem is. The problem is already had. So now we got to put all our energy into the solution. That's the key, and that's what Behind the Wall Mentor actually focus on, the solution. How can we get to them? How can we reach them? How can we get to the parents How can we get to the teachers? We try to get to people. Like we write letters all day. We write to the mayors of a state with proposals, legislator. We write everybody. We don't get no letters back, but we don't stop. But the more we push, the more we get recognized. So, like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. And I thank you, like people like you that's put us in position to be able to be heard.
That's my job, big brother. One of the best shows we ever did.
Thank you, man.
Besides this one, we did a show live from the Fishbowl one time. And a guy actually came out. And every time I see him on the street, that's all he talk about. But that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to give back. Sean, sometimes we think that we got where we are by ourselves.
Right.
I know it was the prayers of a lot of people that saw me through.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam.
Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. And we give thanks, Donnie. As Boo said, we give thanks, man. You know, because you know this is like a Rolex watch. This movement is like a Rolex watch. Each part is important. Each little part is important to make the whole thing worthwhile. So all of our efforts and what we're trying to do you see some of the results of where you see the first two or three steps. You know, we got a long stairway to go, but we on the steps and we climbing. And that's what we got to look at, man. We got to, even though we look back and we see, hey, we ain't moved that far, we have moved. And that's got to be our motivation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not our job to get to the top. It's our job to make a way for the people behind us to make it to the top. You know, so we got to put things in place, even if they don't affect us. We have to put things in place that's going to affect the youth coming behind us. And that's the mindset we have to think from. And that's why I love and respect this brother, Sean Gardner, so much, man, because his vision is beyond the walls. It's beyond the wall. And I don't care what wall it is, not just the walls of the prison. It's beyond the walls of the city, beyond the walls of the state, beyond the walls of America, really, because, you know, it's suppression going on the same way all over. You go to Europe. You know what I'm saying? It's the same suppression going on. You know, but the media is in place to keep us ignorant. The media is not in place to educate us. It's in place to keep us ignorant. We have to understand that. That's why we need our own platform. The Donnie Glover Show, Be More News. We need these platforms, man. And people out there listening, if you're not supporting it, man, it will go away.
Yeah, I want to say big praises and love to Donnie. Because without this, man, we be still trying to figure out a way to spread this word even more like we've been doing. But I thank you, Donnie Glover.
To God be the glory, big brother. My daddy said like this, with a closed hand, nothing get in, nothing get out. With an open hand, there are endless possibilities. So help somebody. Talk to me, Sean.
Hey, just want to second, right? Today, my cousin, man, I just want to celebrate my cousin. It's all popular over there. My cousin, Kenneth Stacks Hood, passed away 3 years ago. I just want to give my salutations to him, man, and let him know, man, we miss him, man, and it's crazy that I had the opportunity to be heard today. So I guess this is way, you feel me, preaching back from the heavens, man, to give me an opportunity to be heard, man, because he always had faith in me. And I just want to give a shout out to Stacks, man.
Sean, I think about people I've lost all the time, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with paying homage to them people who are no longer with us, because we'll see them again, but I ain't in no rush to see them. Because they want us to be happy. You know, Sunday, my mom was gone 40 years. And I watched Renny take care of his mom. I watched him, Sean. And it was like I was getting a chance to enjoy my mom by watching Renny take care of his mom. He would tell me about trips he took her to New York. You remember Renny? You don't know, man. That was like food to my soul, man.
It was a pleasure, man. I had the pleasure of taking care of my mom, man. You know, I thank God for the opportunity. That God blessed me with the opportunity to take care of her. Yes, indeed. I want to say this though, Donnie. Last night, go ahead, go. I'm sorry.
My bad. That's what it's all about, man. Take advantage of opportunity, man. People, the opportunity be right up people's faces, man. They don't take advantage of it. And they wonder why they still stuck in the same position.
Last night, man, I watched a video of an incident that happened over East Baltimore. And you know, I'm from Baltimore. I grew up in the heat of Baltimore. I've seen so much tragedy. I've seen so much death and destruction. But last night it hit me hard, man. I was saddened by the incident. I was saddened by the incident, but I was more saddened by the crowd, had a crowd edge that on. And I'm like, when we put this in perspective, you're saying, you know, you're pumping somebody up to go take somebody else's life. You know, and it's like you're cheering it on. What happened to us, Donnie? What happened to us as a people? What happened to our community, man, when we are excited to see each other get beat up in fights, and we see a fight, we run to it and we cheer? What happened to us as a community, man?
If you ask me, it's a lack of love. And it's a follow the crowd. It's a follow the crowd mentality. I was sharing with Sean last night. I heard these, or actually Dr. Walls, I heard these young girls on Carey Street singing a song about the bad bee, the bad bee, the bad bee. They knew every word to the song. Out on the corner, across from homeowners. And they knew every word to the song. And I'm just thinking, my God, with all of that memorization, you could pass a bar exam, become a lawyer. But somebody has tricked us into thinking that that's slick. Hey, Sean, this guy I know named Jimmy Britton, he said the slickest thing we can ever do, stop being slick. Go ahead, Sean. You got the final word. 60 seconds.
It ain't really the final word. I mean, it's going off at 10. I can call right back. But man, I just want to say, if I don't be able to get back on, man, I'd like to thank you, to everybody that support Behind the Wall Mentors, my wife, my kids, my mother, father, everybody, and all my big brothers that support Behind the Wall.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Mentors, J.S. Russell, Marco, Delmar, Aaron, Gregory, all the brothers that's free now, Andre.
Can you come back next week?
Yeah, I can come back next week.
All right, because Renny said we're doing this until hell freezes over. He said we're not going to stop.
Yeah, I think that this is important, man. I think this conversation is important for us to continue it. You know, an hour gives us time. It's a great hour, but I think we need more to just, you know, because we're trying to break something, man. We're trying to break something that's been existing for a long time. And we chipping away at it, bro. We chipping away at it, you know. And I don't expect to live to see the end, but I definitely expect to do my part while I'm here.
Well, we can do this as long as you say. Hey, Sean, I gotta tell you, Renny the best friend a cat can have, man.
Did he call back?
We'll see. All right.
No, Don, we good friends to each other. I can't be a good friend to you if you're not a good friend to me. It don't work like that.
Yeah, but it's rare. It's rare, Renny, because we so stingy, and you're not a stingy person. I'm a giving type person, and you got to be around givers because takers don't have no limits.
Absolutely.
See, but you know what our problem is? Why it's a difference as far as the kids running to it? Because the kids and the parents are friends instead of
Yeah,
parents.
I told him, I ain't your friend.
You got kids and the grandparents is up in the club together.
No,
You know,
we don't have that.
we got kids that's so young when they have their kid, that by the time your kid get to be a teenager, you still young. So they never learn how to parent or how to teach or how to learn. So we going in that same cycle with a younger generation, you know, of not knowing how to learn or how to teach.
Nobody ever grew up, huh?
That's a big problem. No,
I agree. It's a major problem in our community, man. I think the biggest problem in our community is the lack of unity. When we get that right, man, we can solve a lot of other problems.
But people dealing with in-your-face issues. People trying to get food or get high or make sure the gas and electric bill paid. We're not thinking beyond to bigger issues like what's happening at the school, like voting, what's happening in Annapolis. We got them in-your-face issues. And let me tell you, I want to ask you this, Renny. I got white addicts in my neighborhood up here copping dope, coke, and rock all day long, stealing. The dynamics have changed, Jihad.
Yes, sir.
Last night, 10 o'clock, a white boy in a wheelchair asking me for change on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Well, the demographics are changing, Donnie. The demographics are changing, man. The city is the hot spot. And before you know it, in the next 20, 25 years, man, it won't be the same.
I would have gave him something last night, Renny, but I'm thinking about Trump and all of these white people that's go Trump. And I'm like, come get your cousin. Your cousin down here begging black people for something to eat or some dope or some coke.
Well, he don't understand. Trump don't care nothing about him, man. Trump look at anybody that's below a certain amount of money, of millions, as the same thing. That's why the people who voted for him, the people.
I don't get that part. Jihad, these are the same people who voted for him.
But you know what? The ones that voted for him is even fair for what he might do to them.
He gonna do it.
He ain't got no picks.
No.
You know, you got the whites in our neighborhood getting drugged, just like you got the Latinos looking worse than what the blacks was looking 20 years ago.
Yes. I've seen poor black people all my life. I've never seen us look like what I'm seeing in some of these people coming to our neighborhood.
Exactly. They coming from other neighborhoods that make our neighborhoods look worse.
Yeah.
And the police is watching them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to pick up next week. Jihad, you going to join us next week?
Absolutely.
Thank you for what you do,
This is my job. Absolutely. This is my job. I got to do this.
Thank you for what you do. And again, America represents 5% of the world's population, yet we have 25% of those who are incarcerated. 40% of black men and black women are the fastest growing demographic. Something is fundamentally wrong with this equation. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back with this segment next week. My name's Donnie Glover. Good morning, world.